Hey YouTubers, what is going on? Thank you for stopping by, and as always, I hope this video finds you well. Welcome back to my kitchen. My name is JC. This is the Cuban Redneck DIY channel where we do cooking and grilling videos on Tuesdays and DIY stuff of all types on Fridays. Today we're going to be making a curry chicken recipe that was triggered by a conversation that I had with some of my friends during Thanksgiving. So we just finished eating stuff like a pig. We're sitting outside having a chat, and I have a guy to ask me, like, yo man, I did go to the Cuban food and stuff like that, but what's the deal with the curry dishes on your channel? I said, well, I've lived in both Jamaica and Trinidad and Tobago, and when you get up in the morning and your breakfast is doubles, you kind of get caught on to that type of food. And then I flipped the question on them, and I say, hey, what type of supplements do you guys take? And I said, well, 9 out of 10 are taking turmeric, on a daily basis. So this is the foundation of a curry dish. So I asked them, why are you taking a pill and not have the real McCoy? He said, well, curries are very difficult and technical. I'm like, not really. And then the other one said, well, that stuff is really spicy. No, yeah, the brand of curry that I cook is West Indian, which has to be, has tendency to be a little bit kicked up compared to East India, regular Indian food. But that is a choice. You can control, you have full control over that. So with that in mind, I was thinking about it and said, you know what? I need to make a video for the absolute beginner. I'm going to be making a curry chicken with breast. For the complete, the person who wants to try this type of food and has really not cooked it or is not familiar with it before, just want to try something different. Curries, by the way, are very good for inflammation, for digestion, and many other things. Aside from that, I'm going to be cutting corners a little bit, and I can already hear all my friends throughout the Caribbean, Richard, and everybody else calling me tomorrow morning and say, oh, yeah, that's not how you make a curry. I know. But the point here is to get everybody to have some kind of success or guaranteed success with a very basic or very easy to follow curry chicken recipe. Check this out. For this curry chicken recipe, we're going to need 1 to 1.5 pounds of chicken breast cut into 1.5-inch cubes, 2 tablespoons of Caribbean green seasoning. I know that this is not available everywhere, but there are plenty of videos on how to make this on YouTube. We're also going to need 2 cups of chopped onions and green peppers, 1 tablespoon of minced garlic, 1 teaspoon of salt, a half a teaspoon of black pepper. If you're not into spicy food, you can cut this to 1/4, but I do feel a little bit is required. 3 tablespoons of curry powder. Consider looking for a Caribbean brand such as Chief. 2 to 3 small potatoes cut into 1-inch cubes. 1 can of coconut milk. Please do not confuse that with coconut cream. 1 can of chickpeas or garbanzo beans, 3 to 4 leaves of shadow benny, also known as bandania or culantro. Some people will say that this is optional, but I think it gives the dish a very nice touch. If you can't find culantro, consider cilantro, but also consider adding a little bit more since it's not as strong. After dicing the chicken, the first thing we need to do is what is called in the Caribbean, cure the chicken. This means marinating the chicken in a water white vinegar brine for about 4 to 5 minutes. While that marinates, we can wash and cut the potatoes into 1-inch cubes and set it aside. We can then season the chicken with about 2 tablespoons of green seasoning. Mix it well, make sure that every piece of the chicken is covered, and set it aside, preferably in the fridge. We can now start cooking. Bring a tablespoon of olive oil to temperature so that we can saute the onions and the peppers. As it starts to soften up, add 1 teaspoon of salt and black pepper to taste. While that continues to cook, we need to dissolve 3 tablespoons of curry powder into a half a cup of water. Mix it well and have it ready to go. As the liquid in the skillet starts to dry, let's go ahead and add the garlic and cook that for about a minute or so. Lower the heat to medium and then add the water and curry mix. Stir it well and let it cook for about 4 to 5 minutes. At which time we're going to add the potatoes and stir them until they're fully covered with the curry mix. Then add the coconut water and stir that until it's fully incorporated into a solid color. That means no white streaks. We're then going to cover it and cook for 10 minutes. Curry chicken is often served with roti or jasmine rice. I will be serving my curry chicken recipe with a 50-50 mix of parboiled rice and quinoa, which in my opinion is a healthy alternative. I'm also going to be adding about a tablespoon of green seasoning to the rice, just before I cover it. This is something I recommend. It truly takes the rice to a new level. Okay, our curry has been cooking for about 10 minutes, at which time we're going to go ahead and add the chickpeas and finally the chicken. Put the cover back on the skillet and cook for 5 minutes over medium heat. After the time has expired, remove the cover and cook for an additional 5 minutes uncovered. At the 10-minute mark, we need to check the potatoes for tenderness as well as salt and pepper to taste. If everything checks out, turn off the heat and let it stand for about 4 to 5 minutes for the sauce to thicken. My friends, you don't need to be afraid about cooking curries. I hope that I can get you to try this curry chicken recipe. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next week with a new recipe.